Hi y'all, happy Saturday. My name is Kimberly Weimer. I'm an over 50 makeup teacher, and today we are just troubleshooting makeup over 50 and the most common errors that we make when it comes to doing makeup on mature skin. So I spent 25 years in public school education and then came to Instagram to teach makeup because I, by trial and error, had to figure some things out. I'm 55. And so when I realized that makeup wasn't sitting the same way on my skin, yet I felt like I was trapped into my makeup game, and was actually leading me to a place where I didn't want to wear makeup anymore. I'd love to know where you're from. Let me know if that is you right now. Like you feel just trapped with your makeup. So what I'm going to be sharing are some of the things that I have found most helpful in simplifying it all. Because if you sit there and you let your mind, especially through social media, just try to absorb all of the makeup tips that are out there. Do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. It can get mind-blowing to where you're like, I give up. I don't know what to do anymore. And or it leads you in the other direction. Give me all the things. I need to spend money on this. I need to do this. And then you have all of this stuff and you're like, okay, it's all not working for me. So yeah, I love to know where you're from. So I'm going to be just simplifying everything for you into like 5 things that I think if you think about makeup this way and these key things, it will literally just make your life so much easier, and you'll also be happier with the results. So first and foremost, prepping your skin. If your skin's in really good shape, you won't need a primer. I'm just going to say it. That might be the unpopular opinion, but I went from my skin not being in good shape to my makeup separating, not lasting throughout the course of the day. So I had to prime, had to put like some sort of a primer on my face first in order for it to remotely stay. And then I also had to set it. So get your skincare game under control. And first and foremost. Now, anything that I'm going to be talking about, all you've got to do is comment the word live. I'll send you the links to all the things that I do. You can kind of filter through those, but at some point I'll be talking about them. So my skincare talk right now is I found Korean skincare. I healed my skin barrier after months of retinol. I had done some chemical peels. I don't do fillers. I don't do Botox, anything like that. But I had things that I was using that was more treatment related instead of healing related. And that's just the difference between Asian skincare practices, rituals, as opposed to the Western world, where it's like, give me the next treatment, give me the next chemical from a face to fix it. So I did Korean skincare and it changed my skin. I don't use a primer anymore, but what I do is I hydrate. So if you're not hydrating prior to your makeup, that's a number 1, okay? That can come in the form of a moisturizer. I do want to say this, and maybe you didn't know this before, but whatever your foundation is, so if your foundation is like is a water-based foundation, and if you don't know, find out. Or if it is more like oil-based with silicones in it, anything on the ingredient list that has like ONE, especially toward the top, that means that it's more of a silicone-based foundation. You're going to want to make sure that your skincare moisturizer or whatever it is you're using to hydrate your skin first is jiving with whatever type of foundation you're using. Okay, because so you want to make sure that, for example, I'm using, this is actually Korean skincare. It is a balm stick, but it has sea berry water in it. It has a lot of really good plant ingredients. I use this underneath of my eyes to hydrate. I already did my skincare this morning, so I already applied my moisturizer, took my granddaughter to breakfast, and then so it's actually been since 9 a.m. that I've let my moisturizer set in. So I'm just going to use this balm stick. I'm going to hydrate areas that move. And I like this because it can be my chapstick too. It's only $25. It lasts forever. Not forever, but you get my point. Like it lasts a long time. So anyway, make sure that whatever you're using to prime or to hydrate jives with whatever kind of foundation that you're using. All right, number 2, we're going to talk about the amount that you apply. So all you've got to do is comment the word live, and I'll send you like the links to everything. This is called the Viaton Balm Stick. It is part of the Korean skincare. And I can do a skincare quiz and find so that you can figure out what products you need, but we can totally scale down, okay? You don't have to go all in if you don't want to. The next thing is the amount of product that you put on. So just the type of product really truly does matter. So if you're gonna go like the powder route, okay, maybe you love more of a flatter finish, but in a powder foundation format, I use Bare Minerals for years, know this. It dries down. So when your face is moving, my face moves. It moves a lot, okay? Then when it dries down, it is more likely to crack, okay? So then we have liquids, and liquids also will dry down, not as much as powders. And then it also, if you're hydrating underneath, there is more movement opportunity. The best kind of a foundation or products that I would recommend are cream products, because creams do not dry down. They are buildable. So if you do love like more of a fuller coverage, absolutely, you can totally do that. They're buildable, but they also can go on very light. Like maybe you just are all about evening out your skin tone. Okay. So, there are those 3. So take knowledge, take a note of those 3 types and what type you're using. And if you're experiencing some, like if you have dry skin and you're using a powder foundation, it's going to look drier. Okay. There's just nothing, there's nothing more there's no good that's going to come out of that. And if you are using a liquid and you're using a full coverage liquid, then you could possibly be seeing still a lot of that dryness, your heavy pores, that sort of thing. So cut back on the amount of liquid that you're using, or find something that is really a light liquid. And then of course we have creams. So creams, you have a lot of flexibility. That's just the way that I go. Next thing I'm going to talk about really quickly, and then I'm going to demonstrate just using some products that I have here and that I have loved and been using for years. And I really am very passionate about the products that I have found, or I don't want to say I found, kind of found me by accident when I wasn't looking, which is how you know, like, oh gosh, this must have been really meant to happen to me, because I kind of landed these products in my hand accidentally, is color. Many times we're using too light of a foundation color. I'm in a couple of beauty groups on Facebook, just public groups. And this one particular group women are so brave and so vulnerable, but they're in this position with their makeup where they can post photos. They will post photos of their face with makeup on, or even their bare face, which, I don't take that very lightly. Like, that truly is courageous for a woman to put themselves out there, to be in such desperation mode that you want some help with your makeup. But many occasions I see it's just simply a color issue. Like, you're using the wrong color of foundation. Either it's way too, I don't want to say necessarily warm, but you can just tell that it doesn't match their skin, or it's way too light. So color is everything. And I truly know that it can get overwhelming when you're trying to walk into a drugstore. Department stores, does anybody even do that anymore? And then when you walk into like Ulta or Sephora, it's like, whoa, like you don't even know where to begin. But do begin there. Like, really, truly, don't necessarily try to guess. Get somebody else's advice too when it comes to that. Back in the day, we used to swatch our wrist. Wait a minute. Let's look at this for just a second. This is not this, okay? I don't have any other product other than just my skincare on my face right now. So we can't just start there. We truly have to take a little swatch right here along our jawline and see how well it melts into the skin, okay? And sometimes, actually more times than not, you'll want to go to the next shade up. Now be careful, because the next shade up in the same tone of what you truly need might not necessarily be the next shade up in the way that they are displaying the colors. For example, if you're cool toned and you're using a particular cool tone foundation, if you look at the swatches maybe on the, like if there is a display, the next tone up might be warm. That's not what I mean. It would mean going to the next darker cool tone. Yeah, I don't want this to be more overwhelming than what it needs to be. It's just to put thoughts in your mind that if you're not happy with your makeup, these are just some typical things that you can think about moving forward. All right, so I am going to just jump in and just show you a few other tips for over 50 skin. I say over 50, it's just because I'm over 50, but mature skin, okay? You know when your skin is getting mature. It could be getting mature in your 40s. And a lot of things to take into account when you have mature skin. The life you've lived, smoking, your nutrition, all the things that can play and wreak havoc on your skin. Yeah, Athens and Sandy are in the same tone. They're both neutrals. You have the idea, right? But sometimes, like I'm actually a Sandy and Athens. I was originally a Sandy. And those of you that don't understand that, this foundation that I'm using right now, these are the names of the foundation that I use, but I was originally matched to Sandy. And then what ended up happening is Sandy all of a sudden started to pull a little yellow on me. And that's another thing to say is like, if you've been using the same color foundation for years, deep breath, I bet you're not the same color. Okay. And so now that Athens came out and they have a new shade called Hazel, I actually mixed the two, and Hazel is my summer shade and Athens is my winter shade. And I don't, again, like the more that I talk, I feel like I'm being overwhelming, and I don't want that to happen. My page right here is for simplicity. Okay. Simplicity. And anytime you want the links to everything I'm talking about here in this live, just comment the word live. That includes makeup, skincare, color correction, all the things. All right, so let's first and foremost jump into color correction. Let me find my fave color corrector. It looks like this, okay? It is by a company called Amazing Cosmetics. Lots of companies have color correctors. What you want to look for is the colors in order to offset or counter the color that you're seeing. So don't use a light concealer and try to cover dark under eyes. All it's going to be is gray. And then the more that you apply underneath of your eyes in order to cover the gray is eventually going to crease. So nix that. That doesn't even exist anymore. That's not even a thing. Don't do it. That was something old school back in the day when we didn't know better. All right. So color correction is now very important for mature skin. Okay. And that's simply because you're getting to the root of the color issue by using color science to counter the color you're seeing. And then you have to apply less product, which then you're going to have less creasing. So a salmony peach color is really great for anything that is showing blue. And then when you have saturations of blue and you are countering them with peach, it's going to correct that color. Now, anybody who's been here for a while, I'm going to try and zoom in, hopefully. Anybody who's been here for a while can see that my under eyes have really lightened. Like I used to have really dark under eyes. Again, this is a skincare issue. And then this little product has helped to lighten my under eyes. I believe truly that under eye creams are a waste of money. I believe they're gimmicky. Okay. I want you, if you're an under eye cream user and you're using a lot and you're spending a lot of money on under eye creams, I want you to truly ask yourself, I have noticed a big difference since I have been using this under eye cream. Like truly in what you see, like the texture, the color, whatever that is. I just want you to ask yourself that. And if the answer is, you know what, Kim, you're right, then you kind of agree with me, and that might be money that you can put aside. What you need, what those creams probably do is they hydrate, right? They provide a moisture or something to keep your under eyes hydrated, moist. That's the issue they're addressing, but you can do that with other products as well. But I mean, some women are just really attached to their eye cream. And if Korean Beauty comes out with an eye cream, I'm going to get it, because truly that eye cream is probably a cream I can use on other parts of my face too, okay? So I'm going to take this color corrector, and now I only have to look for areas of blue, okay? So I see it right here. This used to be really dark. And I'm just going to tap this in the areas that are darkest. My eye bag, so the trough right here, you see that's dark. Same thing. And one eye, you know, I don't have both eyes that have equal discoloration. One is more discolored than the other. And even on any given day, one could have more discoloration than the other. Just has to do with my sleep and again, my nutrition. This is called the Viaton Multi-Stick Balm. If you comment live, then just you'll get the link to all the Korean Beauty products that I'm currently using. This $25. You can use it as you can use it on your lips, on your eyes. It's an absolutely amazing product for $25. When I think of like all the, and it is cosmeceutical grade skincare, okay? Cosmeceutical, not pharmaceutical. That can only be prescribed by a doctor, and not just drugstore brand. Like it's cosmeceutical. It's the kind that you'll find in a spa. And it's pretty dang great. All right. So what I did was, you can still see a little of the salmon. So, you know, when you're using a true color corrector, that doesn't mean that you're going to go and then just apply the color corrector and then walk out the door. You're going to be able to see the shade, but what you're going to see is that saturation of darkness kind of melt away. That's the idea. And I didn't apply very much product. I'm going to kind of let this, we're going to do something else while I'm kind of letting this, I don't want to say stiffen because it's not getting stiff, but kind of set in, right? Because once I apply product over it, I don't want it moving underneath. All right, I'm going to back myself up just a little bit now so you can see the overall look. I use my finger, but you can totally use a brush. Just make sure it's a clean brush and probably something smaller. You're going to see me use my finger a lot. I've washed my hands before I sat down, which is always important, but I find that, especially I'm going to be using cream products, I find that I love the warmth of my finger and the warmth of my face, and then the product kind of melts like butter in, so I can apply the thinnest amount of product. Yeah, so you just want to use a color corrector for dark spots. If you think that it is more purple than blue, then you want to use something that's more yellow. This one is by Amazing Cosmetics. If you comment live, the links are coming to you. So everything that I'm talking about in this live, you just comment the one word and you're going to get it. Like, here they all are. But this is also really great for brightening. This is the light to medium. So if you have darker skin than me, you're going to want to go to the medium to dark. If you have lighter skin than me, then you're going to want to go to the fair to light. All right. I've been using this product for just over 2 years, and it's worked for me and so many people. And that's true because I also want to give you a code. So when you comment the word live, the code is going to come to you too. You just use code Kimberly and you'll get a little discount off of that color corrector. All right. So when we're talking about cream products, if you are noticing that the products are kind of like sinking in your pores, which I think I just saw that pop up there, that's one of two things. That means because you're seeing your pores, you probably need to go darker. Number 2, it could also mean it's a skincare issue, so exfoliate. All right, exfoliate. Number 3, what'd I say? Color, then skincare issue, and number 3 is applying too much, okay? So you just want it to be able to kind of like skim over, almost like airbrush feathering it. And that probably just comes with the amount of product that you're applying and maybe the method. So I'm going to teach you all of that. So, okay, I'm going to just use, I'm going to use my one compact makeup system. This is by a company called Saint. I've been with them for 4 years. I have tried so many other cream products. There's nothing that's good. Okay. And I'm willing and will try more. Okay. So anyway, all of these, what's unique about Saint is everything is customized into one compact. I can color match you because I know what the colors look like on the skin. The website is misleading. Just going to say that. If you get on there and you try to look at the foundation shades and say, I'm this color, don't trust it. Just, I give a free color match. I can match you. That's also with commenting live. But then you build the compact however you want, okay, with whatever products you love and you use. Like if you don't want to contour, don't put a contour in your compact. I started off with something this small. This is my foundation, a bronzer, and a lip and cheek color that I can also use the bronzer on my eyes. You can keep it simple. All right, anyway, it's all TSA approved, 11 ingredients, ships straight to your house. You reorder only whatever items you need to. They're all $16 to $19 each, US. I don't know. It's like the best of the best deal product, gorgeous, gorgeous palettes, like buying purses and shoes. You pick out which one you like and you go with it. So it's like whatever you are feeling like, your flavor of the day. All right, so the first thing though that I'm going to do is I'm going to apply dimension to my face. All right. So our faces are 3D. If we want to go back to the day of applying one color of foundation all over our face, you can do that. But the older that we get, the idea is to apply less. So if you take the right colors, you apply them in the right place, then you blend, or you blend as you go along, but you place them at the right place, then you have one layer of makeup with a 3-dimensional look. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump into my contour. All right, I have a contour. I would match you to a contour, but get a contour, okay? This one is a little on the warmer side because that's what I like. Warm meaning has more red in it. And I'm just going to apply a wee little bit right here. Not going all in, just a little bit. I'm going to end up at the corner of my eye. I'm going to do that on this side as well. I'm going to stop about the corner of my eye. I also stayed up on my cheekbone. This is a pro tip for those of us with mature skin. If I apply it right here in the hollow of my cheek where you can see the shadow, which is when I was 20, that's where I would have applied it. But if I do that, I'm going to be looking more like Skeletor and hollowing out that area that's already starting to hollow. Okay. This is the 3D brush. I love this brush. I really love this brush, and I also love the shape brush, but this one, you can use it for so many things. The other thing is I'm using very little product, teeny tiny dips. There's no swiping. No swiping. It is tap, tap. And then I'm going to apply right here at my hairline, avoiding the temples, because again, another area that will hollow out. This is called Cedar. This is not Bella. This is not a bronzer. This is a warmer contour called Cedar. All right, there. And then I can go ahead and very lightly do my jawline. And this will help to be able to minimize the look of jowls, kind of chisel the jaw. This is Saint, yeah, this is Saint. My absolute favorite foundation, okay? And I'm not opposed to using and trying other things. I just haven't found anything that's better. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this brush, and you're going to see me jumping from color to color with the same brush. And brushes truly are everything, meaning you want to make sure that you're using a brush that goes with the medium of foundation that works. So for example, if you're using a powder foundation, then you should be using a brush that works well with powder. If you're using a liquid foundation, then make sure your brush is good for liquids. And same with creams. These brushes really are truly universal. You can use them with brushes or with any three of those, okay? They're just that good. And all I did was just add dimension. That was it. What ended up happening though is I also added coverage. So when I'm using these creams that are all very similar in texture, I'm just applying the color that I need in the place that I need it, and it's all providing coverage. It's a beautiful thing. All right, the next thing I'm going to do though, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to find what I would call, if I color match you, is called your main highlight. This is the one that's closest to your skin, but this is also the one that you have the most flexibility. When I do color match, I do this for you, and you can decide, you know, what you want to do with it. I'll give you an optional main highlight, which means I'm giving you something that will transition through the seasons for you. Okay, so if I'm color matching in the winter, chances are I'm going to be giving you an optional highlight that's going to help you get through spring and summer. Okay, if I'm matching you in the summer with your tan, I'm going to give you an optional highlight that will help transition you into fall and winter. Okay, it's an extra $16 for you if you're in the US, but that's why I have 3 different foundation shades, because I just have here all I need. All right, so here we are. This is actually Athens. This one is Hazel. They're similar tone. One is different. Similar shade, different tone. Okay, both neutrals. I'm actually going to dip in both. And that's what's kind of cool about having everything in one compact, is that I can neighbor them. So if I want to mix them, I can mix like this, no big deal. I pounced. And now I'm going to fill in where I just want to even out my skin tone. All right. And so I'm feathering this product in a way that is kind of like it is truly like airbrushing it. If you want a fuller coverage, okay, and you feel like you just need more coverage in a particular area, watch what I do. Okay, so we're just going to dab, but instead we're going to do more stippling. Okay, so I didn't grab any more product on my brush. It was the application method that I used. And so like right in this area right here where I get more red, then I can use my darker color and do more of a stippling just to get in that area. But don't feel like you have to do that to your whole face, because you might not. And if your goal is an overall like natural look, then try it, experiment. You know, one size does not fit all. After being in public school education for 25 years, if I would have taught every student the very same way, the students would not be successful, because I have to meet them where they are. This is going to be saved as a live on my page. Just make sure you're following me in case you're not, so that you get notified when I put up new stuff, because I do it every day. Little tiny little snippets, new tips, that kind of thing. All right, so go to my picture and click follow if you're not already following me. All right, you can get Saint in Canada, so just comment the word live and I'll send you the link. And you're going to be able to get Saint in the UK if you're watching from the UK starting January 6th, so get color matched. All right, so guess where I haven't really touched? I haven't touched my forehead. Do I need to do my forehead? I mean, I don't understand why I would. Like, why would you do my forehead? Do you see anything that needs covered? No, I have my contour here. I really like this extra little flash of light right here. I like the little flash of light right through here, which I'm actually going to accentuate in just a minute. And then I've kind of evened everything out here. All right, so yeah, so comment the word live. I love creams. Don't be afraid of creams just because you have oily skin. You just might have to prep your skin different, but really that's a skincare issue. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this third color that I'm going to color match you. And it is called your accent or your brightening highlight. And a lot of times we do not place concealer in the right place, okay? Because our old way of thinking is we want to conceal dark spots. You want to correct dark spots. You want to brighten certain areas, all right? So I'm going to use my finger. I always use my ring finger because it's really gentle. And I'm going to go into this lighter shade. Y'all, I would never use this shade. This is called Palace. I love Palace. It has this really beautiful pink tone to it. And pinks and peaches are natural color correctors. And okay, so I'm going to apply this in this little sweet spot right here. And it's not a lot, so much that it's going to accentuate texture, because here's where all my texture is. I'm not doing the triangle anymore. I'm just doing that really small amount right there to brighten. Okay, right through here, if you don't have 11s and this is nice and smooth, you can even apply it through here as well. Okay, I do have 11s. I don't want them accentuated because anything lighter that you put on your skin is going to come forward, and anything darker, okay, hence contour, is going to make an area recede, which is why if I put it here, it's going to make this even more hollow. That's why I kept it high, to still give myself some dimension. Now I am going to do a really quick nose contour. I just have a wee little bit of contour on my finger. I'm going to go right down here on each side of, like, basically right where that shadow is, and kind of pinch it off right here at the bottom. You know, if you have a thin nose, then you can keep that a little wider. If you have a wide nose and you want to make it skinnier, appear skinnier, you're going to keep that narrow. All right, and then I'm going to take a little of Palace and I'm going right down through the middle of that. All right, now that looks really weird, but what I was doing was, it's perfect for 70-year-olds, absolutely. You just want to maybe use a brush that is a little bit more fluffy. I would recommend, where'd my favorite brush go? The shape brush, oh, it's right here. Mine's black, but it looks like this, so that you can just lightly apply. It's all about getting the right colors. So now I'm just gonna tap it out. Okay, tap it out. You could use a brush too, but that's why I like using my finger. I still want the shadow, but I don't want the definitive line, okay? And it looks something like that. All right, it's just, and the attention now is drawn down the middle of my face. All right, let's jump to lip and cheek colors. Again, I have different levels, so I like options. All right, I'll give you lip and cheek recommendations as well. Can it minimize nostrils? Meaning, like, if you have big nostrils, then you can absolutely contour in an area, but be careful. Reach out to me. I'll help you to be able to maybe send you a graphic of a way that you can contour to minimize, like, nostrils. All right. And the other thing is that I want you to think about the overall end result. Okay. We can sit here as women, especially as we get more mature, but I think this resonates with every woman, is that the standard that we feel like that we need to keep is almost unreachable. And we sit there and we use these, other than our eyesight, we use these mirrors with magnification times 10. And it helps us to focus in on every single flaw. But when you concentrate on the overall look, what you're doing is you are then taking people's attention, and not even really people's attention. People don't notice it. We do. Away from the one thing that's bothering you and helps you to look at the overall look. And so when you take that belief that, all right, I want to just have an overall youthful look. Here are the things that I'm going to do. I'm not going to concentrate on that one age spot that's on my left upper cheek and dwell on it and just so give up. I just want to look at the overall look. It's more freeing. Okay, enough. I'll jump off my soapbox, but that's part of the reason that I'm in this space is because we're all in the same boat. We're all in this together. I'm going to jump into, I love pinks and peaches and then everything. I like some things in between, but I'm going to jump into a pink lip and cheek color, and this one looks really vibrant. But what's cool about creams is that they're very forgiving on the skin, and they look kind of like just your natural flushing, but you can experiment with different colors too. Do you see this application method? I'm applying it in a circle because that's the way that our pores are. Okay, that's the way that our skin naturally is. I wasn't talking. Oh, Celia, did you think I was talking directly to you? So many of us have age and sunspots. I was peppered with them. My whole forehead was peppered. This is called Pinky Promise. My whole forehead was, this looked like I wore a brown headband before Korean skincare. I had all this hyperpigmentation. That was the result of sun damage. Okay. And hyperpigmentation can come in like all different forms. It can be hormonal. It can be medication related. It can be sun damage. That was what mine was. And I am using the shape brush. And so results with skincare as far as hyperpigmentation, that varies because it really does depend on the source of your hyperpigmentation. But it truly did. It looked like I had a brown headband. And then all of these areas right here was really dark. It almost made my skin, and actually that's probably why Sandy, which was my highlight early, worked for me because I had so many age spots. And then once that lightened, it is available in Canada, Carrie. Once that area lightened, I became a different color. And so, but in general, if you're using the same color foundation that you've always been using, it might be time to change. All right, so I just like that, like the natural flushing look. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and just, I'm going to add a little bit of a bronzer. Those of you who are here know that I actually sometimes prefer bronzer as opposed to contour. And you can place them in the same spot. Just know that bronzer is more warm and contour is more cool. All right. When you comment the word live, the link to everything is there. I recommend that you do the skincare quiz. I also recommend that if you want a personal recommendation, just reach out to me. I'll meet you where you are. Okay. Price wise. I'll be fully transparent. To get the full ritual, to get you started is $205. That doesn't mean that's a month. Okay. I don't want anybody, but I'm offering this really special deal right now. It's going to come to you if you comment the word live. You can buy a $100 experience kit, which will get you all of the items. And then I will give you, once you fill out the little form to prove that you actually placed the order, I am offering you the cleanser free. Okay. I have to ship that to you separately because that's from me personally, me, not the company. All right. So if you comment the word live and you go with the experience kit, which can be found under best sellers, it's $100. Y'all, I just want you to do the math. Number one, if you use any kind of skincare, do the math as to how much you spent. All right. And then ask yourself, is it really helping me? And I was in maintenance mode. I ended up putting my bronzer in the shape of a C. Okay. And I'm just going to give my little self a dot right here on my nose and a dot here on my chin. Why? Because that's where the sun typically hits me, right? All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and blend my bronzer. This is called Xanadu. It has a little bit of an illuminator mixed in with it. All right. Yeah, so check your, and if you're not following me, Instagram will hide your, will hide my links from you. So make sure you click follow. I hear all of that, you know, and so I hear a lot about, I need to finish my skincare first, but you know, that's just longer that you have to take in order to get the skin that you want. So you decide. When I decided, well, I saw friends and their faces, which is what made me try it. I felt like I needed to try it with fidelity, meaning put everything aside. That way I had it to be able to refer to if I didn't like it. And not gonna lie, day one, I was like, what is this magic potion? Koreans know how to do it. All right, so I just added bronzer. Do you see what it did? It just gave me the most beautiful warm glow, not orange. Okay, now let's go ahead and just add a little bit of lips. I'm gonna put, what am I gonna put? I am going to line my lips with a little bit of my contour. All right, yeah, thanks for those of you that are following me. Thank you, thank you. If you requested a link, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're following so that you continue to receive links. Instagram will hide them. They actually end up going into a file called hidden in your DMs that you guys might not know where it is, okay? And that's if you can open it at all. All right, so I just went ahead and added a little bit of contour on the vermilion border, and then I'm just gonna go in with, you can tell I use this color a lot. It's called Sadie. It's truly like a neutral gloss, and add that. Yeah, I do. I really do, Maria Made_art. I really do use them very similar. I think if you're looking to chisel your jawline, you wouldn't want to use bronzer there because that's just going to appear warm. You want to, I would use something like cooler in that particular area, like a true contour, something that's more on the cool side. Really, truly, same with your nose. But on the cheek side and the face side, and the hairline, I truly use them interchangeably, and more occasions than not, I use bronzer instead. That's just my preference. All right, and so I want to show you another trick. I do have mascara on. That was the only thing I placed on my eyes before breakfast. I want to make sure that y'all are doing this, and it doesn't matter what kind. Sadie doesn't have any shimmer. No, it's just it's under semi-gloss, I believe. Is a beauty blender, and I have these. These are dry. If I were going to use these, I would stick them, run them under some water, squeeze them in a towel. Okay. If you do need to prime or prep your face with a spray, this one is called the Plush Prep Mist. It's by Saint. It's really beautiful. If you do need a primer, it hydrates. It has hyaluronic acid in it. But my point in telling you that is you can prep your face by spraying some of the primer on a sponge first and then dabbing all over, which if you have oily skin, it will pull the oils off and then also prep your face. So beauty blenders are really helpful if you know how to use them. And then at the very end of your routine, using it like this. So for the person who said, why do I feel like my pores are accentuated? Are you doing this even, which will help to remove any of the excess product that could be sinking into your pores. There are also pore filler primers. Let me see if I can find one here. It's in a stick form. There's one, e.l.f. has one that's called the Poreless Primer Putty. You could also use that. And then Saint and Amazing Cosmetics both. Amazing Cosmetics has this one called Velvet Mineral Powder Set. It is the finest powder ever. So, some people just don't like a really shiny, dewy look. Okay, you could take something that is really finely milled. You can even use a beauty blender, something that's very finely milled, and just tap in the overly shiny areas without taking away and mattifying it so much that it will crease, crack, and kind of just look, I refer to it as fakey. All right. And I don't want to offend anybody, but I want the look of up close makeup. Okay. I want my makeup to look really great when I'm 3 feet away from you having a conversation with you. That's the idea for me. If you're going on stage, if you're in front of a camera all the time, that's a different story. But for the majority of us, we are communicating and we want to have good up close makeup. All right. And then the final thing that I'm going to mention are my eyelids. We can go through a whole eyeshadow tutorial. I'm not going to do that right now, but I am going to apply an eye primer, an eyelid primer. This one is by a company called Sigma. It is in the color Persuade. I really love this. Hey Rose, tired under eyes, you need to add that lighter concealer right in that corner of your eye. That's just going to brighten everything. Okay, and of course color correction if there's darkness. But do you guys see just what this is by Sigma Cosmetics. I don't know if it's back in stock yet, but just keep trying, or find an eyeshadow primer that has a peachy tone, nothing shiny, a peachy tone. This is it. How long does the Remon system last? The Experience Kit will last you a month. Could possibly last you more. It just depends on how much. Still sold out. I feel mostly responsible for the sellouts both times, just simply because I posted a video about it, and I think everybody and their brother ordered it, and then they were sold out, and so they need to get it back because they're losing money for sure. The Experience Kit lasts about a month. Just depends on, how much product you use, but that's what it's made for. It's really truly made for you to make a skincare decision in 1 month, whether this is the system for you. And you should not, and if you use it with fidelity day and night as it's instructed, and then I send you the Snow Enzyme Cleanser for free, then you will have a really good idea that it is Amazing Cosmetics powder. It's called Velvet Mineral Powder Set. Because you need to be using skincare for 30 days at a minimum to really get a good idea. But 60 days is the magic number. And the other thing I want to mention really quickly before I say goodbye, y'all have a great Saturday, is it is so natural for your skin to purge with any new skincare routine. We are often very hasty to make a decision when we've been using a new product and we see a breakout. Oh, I can't use this. I'm breaking out. No, that is your skin's way of cell rejuvenation. So it's bringing all the ugly dirt to the surface and trying to work its way out. That is normal. Now, it's not normal to have an allergic reaction, like an itchy kind of thing. Even with some skincare, it's totally normal to have a tingly feeling. All right. But I work with each and every one of you. So if you're having issues, I'll also send you information that walks you through how to tiptoe into Korean skincare. But it has a 5-star Derma testing, and it is so gentle that I don't think that you'll have to worry about it. That's how confident I am. There is no Remon code, unfortunately. Yeah, there is no Remon code. Whatever is in, when you comment live, whatever you get, any codes I have are there. But the Experience Kit is the deal through the website, through my website. But what I'm doing for you is the free Snow Enzyme Cleanser with the purchase of the Experience Kit. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for spending Saturday this time with me. Hopefully you learned a little something, something. And make sure you're following me so that you don't miss any more. You guys have a blessed day. See you soon.